guys, I'm going to take you through how to create a charm similar to this one here. Let me open that up for you. This is a charm that you can hang off your bag, but it's a lion head. Alright, I'll kind of take you through how we did this. You can see it's pretty complex here. We started first by importing a sketch of the lion head, like it's an image that we traced. And then when I traced this, I first tried to trace the entire thing and it just didn't extrude for me. I was having trouble with the extruding. So I decided to instead kind of take it step by step. So I started with just tracing the outer edge, and this was kind of like the backing of my charm. And you can see up the top there I added like a nice little handle, making sure that everything's connected just fine. Once I drew that, I was able to extrude that portion. There it is. So this is like the backing, the back plate. And on the front of this face is where I was gonna draw the lion head, the lion mane, the lion face. Alright, so that's just kind of like the backing. So then I started a new sketch on the front face of that backing, and I started with just this portion, because if I drew the whole thing it wasn't extracting correctly. Alright, so I just drew this part up here, outlined it from the sketch that we had previously put up. You know, it's not perfect, but it's close enough. Go ahead and hide that again. So once that was drawn, I was able to extrude that little portion. Let's see if you can see that extrusion. Alright, there it is. You can see that being extruded outwards, just that section. And then I continued on and I drew my next section, extruded that part out, and then I drew my final section, which was the lion face, and that was my last extrusion. So I kind of had to do like separate extrusions just so that it wouldn't cause me any errors, and that worked out pretty good. And now this is ready to be printed. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you how to start your drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new document, and for this one I'm going to call this Metallica. Alright, so I'm going to find the Metallica logo and I'm going to pull that logo in. So I'm going to go to Google right now and just do a search on Metallica logo. And I want to find something that's easy, not too difficult to draw. If you pick something that's too difficult, got too much on it, it's going to be that much more difficult. So I'm just going to take this one here and I'm going to just save a copy of that. So save image as, put it somewhere that I can easily find, like in my pictures. And I'm just going to name this Metallica. Alright, so it's now saved in my pictures. So when I come back to my Onshape, I'm going to import that shape. So to import, I'm going to come down to the bottom left corner to this plus symbol, and you'll see an option for import. So click on that, and then we'll be able to find our file. Again, I put that in my pictures folder. There it is, Metallica. So I'm just going to double click that and it's going to give me a pop-up window that says that it's uploading. When it's complete, it's going to tell me it was complete. So this is just a notification window. I'm just going to exit out of there. And now I'm ready to begin sketching. So I'm going to start a sketch on the front face or front plane. Let me go ahead and rotate to the view the front side. So whenever you import your image, you have to be in a sketch window. That's when you'll see this command. It looks like DXF. So if I hit the pull down menu, you'll see insert image. Alright, so hit that pull down arrow, click on insert image, and then we'll see that Metallica is going to be there ready for me to insert. So I'm going to click on that Metallica, and it doesn't come up right away. In order to bring it up, I have to draw a rectangle. So click, drag, there it is, and then click again to place it down. Alright, so there's my Metallica logo. I want to size this, so I'm going to dimension it, and I'm going to make this about 4 inches wide, because you know this is, if you think about a ruler, how long 4 inches is, that'll be about that long. Something I can put on my backpack. Alright, so now I've got my logo inserted. I'm ready to start sketching. So let me start by creating a rectangle. I want to create a backing to put this logo on. Alright, so actually I'm going to draw my rectangle a little bit bigger than that box. Alright, and then I'm going to do some dimensioning. So I want there to be like a 0.2 inch border here. So 0.2 inches. And that's going to go all the way around. So between the borders, all the borders, I'm just going to make those 0.2. Top and bottom as well. Just kind of evenly space it. 0.2 inch borders the whole way around. Alright, so that's my rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and accept that. And right now we can see the logo, and that's fine, but I want to extrude that rectangle. I'm going to actually extrude it backwards and make it kind of thin. I'm just going to go 0.2 inches there as well. Alright, hit the green check mark, and there's my backing. And that's what I'm going to create my logo on. And I can maybe do a fillet on the edges. So let me grab my fillet tool up here. And I don't want these to be sharp edges, so I'm just going to come around and make those less sharp. Because, you know, if I have this hanging from my bag, I don't want it getting caught on anything. I want to make it nice and rounded, maybe even the front edges in the back. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Let's see what it looks like. Alright, that's not too bad. Alright, so I'm happy with that for now. Alright, so now I want to create my logo. I'm going to put that right on this face. Let me turn off the visibility of my front plane. Actually, all the planes, I don't think I need those right now. They're kind of getting in my way. Alright, so let me go ahead and... Right now I can't see my logo because it's become hidden, but I can click on this eyeball to bring it back. So I think I'm going to start a new sketch on the front of my rectangle. Alright, so the front view, and I'm going to start tracing this Metallica logo. There's two options I can use here. I can use the spline, I can use line. Spline is good for like curved lines, such as in the C. I'll probably use a spline, but the line tool would work like for the I and the L. Even this M, I think I could use the line tool on. So I'm just going to choose the line tool, and I'm just going to start maybe down here in the corner and draw my first line. Alright, kind of to here, and you can notice this is kind of a curved shape here, so I'm going to have to use a few different lines there just to get that curve. And this is actually kind of curved a little bit too. Maybe I should have used the spline. Alright, let me just keep going here, and that's going to come back down. So it's okay if you're not exactly in the right spot. It's going to look nice as, you know, when it's done. If you're off the pattern just a little bit, no one will be able to tell. It's going to look nice as soon as it's all done. I'm just going to join this. Make sure that you end up back where you started. Right? See how that turns yellow when I hover over it? That's what we want. That way that becomes a nice solid shape. Alright, so let me just green check mark this real quick. I just want to see if that would extrude. Make sure that my drawing, oh yeah, that's extruding. Let's see how far that comes out. I don't want it to come out that far, so I'm just gonna maybe dimension that 0.2 for that one, and then we can start to see it coming out of that image. Let me hide my first sketch. There we go. So that's kind of coming out a little far. I might maybe make that one go inwards maybe a little bit. That seems like it's really jutting out. So I might maybe just extrude that 0.1. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. It's not sticking out as far. Alright, I might maybe add a hole in the upper left corner so I can stick like my keychain in there or whatnot. So I can always go back to my, if that's sketch 1, I can double click sketch 1 on the sidebar here, and I can always go back and say, okay, I wanted to add a hole just right there, so I'm gonna maybe create a circle somewhere near that corner there. Right now it's 0.4 inches, which is about almost half an inch, which is not too bad. I think for me that's doable. Let me see what would happen there. Oh wow, look at that. It might be a little bit too close to the edge, so you can kind of see there. So I might need to bring that in a little bit. So that's kind of the nice thing about this tool, is I can actually just grab the center of my circle and move it in a little bit. I'll take a look at that one. That's a little bit better. I think I like that. It's going to be thin enough to fit my keychain through. It should be big enough to put a chain through even. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to go back to my sketch 2 now, reopen that, and I'm going to make my sketch 1 visible and go back to tracing. You can see how I would use the spline tool. Alright, so line doesn't really work too well for this because it's nice and curved. So spline is good for curved lines. Alright, so you just have to kind of put down a few more dots, a few more clicks. So you'll notice I'm kind of clicking every so often. And look how nice that curve comes out. So the more you click, the better that curve is going to look. But like I said, in the long run, nobody's going to really notice if you're messing up a whole lot. Then it doesn't really do straight lines too well. It kind of wants to curve everything. So for straight lines, I kind of just do a lot more dots. And then when we hit this curve again, I can kind of spread it out. So hopefully you kind of get the idea of how to use both the spline tool and the line tool to help you create or do some tracing on your logos. Let me see if that C is coming out okay. Yep, there's the C. And when this is all done, it's going to look really nice. See that C? It doesn't look too bad. It actually looks pretty good.